Hey guys, Rocambasco here, and today I'm gonna see if you can beat Halo Reach with only the shotgun. For this challenge, I didn't play on one set difficulty, but instead I switched it based on the level, because some levels are totally capable on Heroic with only the shotgun, but on some other levels, let's just say it's not a jolly good show. The hardest part about this challenge is the fact that I had to be close enough to an enemy to lick their eye boogers before the shotgun can be most effective, due to the fact that the closer the shotgun is to your opponent, the stronger it becomes. When I start the game, I only have a rifle and a pistol, so up until I acquire a shotgun, the only thing I have to worry about is the speed at which I can run like a bitch. That is until I got my hands on a shotgun. So now instead of running like a bitch, I could stand there and do nothing like a bitch, since I wanted to save my shotgun shells for the last part of the mission. So after my teammates killed everyone in the area and then killed everything that tried to kill us while Kat was smacking a computer for a few minutes, we finally got to the part that I was saving the shotgun for. Needless to say, I was very happy when I found that my shotgun had been replaced by a rifle here. After quickly exhausting my low amount of patience and a few deaths later, George finally killed everyone in the room, and then I found a shotgun next to a corpse. The shotgun was effective at producing more corpses, so I killed the remaining Covenant and beat the mission. Mission 2 doesn't exactly have a surplus of shotguns at my disposal, but as long as I was selective with who I murdered, everything would be just fine. I started out by trading my DMR with this Walking Dead man. He only had 9 shotgun shells in total, but I forgave him since it was better than nothing. I knew all too well from my pistol only challenge that unless I helped out my teammates here, I would be here until Kat outgrew her lesbian haircut. So I decided to kill only the elites, and when my teammates finished the rest, we were able to proceed. I ignored the wraiths because how the frig am I gonna kill a tank with 4 shotgun shells and a handful of liabilities. So I spent the next few minutes just running around and pressing buttons until I made it back to where I started. But this time there were hunters and a nice amount of shotguns to use. The hunters may look intimidating until you remember that they're big pieces of shit, so they take only 2 or 3 shotgun blasts to the back and then they're dead. I did say I should be selective of who I killed, but the shotgun is just so satisfying I couldn't resist using it, kind of like cocaine. After killing the alien scum and getting kicked by the strongest elite in Halo, who, by the way, kicks so hard that he destroyed the TVs with his leg recoil, I made it to the top floor. I took out the trash, Emile destroyed the Banshees and Phantom, and the mission concludes. In Mission 3, our objective is to recon the Covenant combat capabilities. I don't start off with a shotgun, but when the time was right, I didn't hesitate. I wanted to know what these beasts were capable of, and how well my buckshot would adapt to their beautiful new home residing in the aliens' intestines. There's plenty of shotguns in this level, so I got my hands on one in no time, but I ran past the first 2 big groups of Covenant because I also wanted to test the militia's combat capabilities, which apparently are shit.
You heard us. 6 keep those civilians alive. Recon Bravo to Noble 2. We lost the civilians.
When I got to my first fight of the level, I decided I would mainly target elites first, while June took out the unarmored boys. So I greeted the elites the same way poachers greet wild animals, with a simple hello and a blast of 8 gauge to the face. I then targeted the skirmishers because they're quick on their feet and I wanted to see them fail to outrun my shotgun. We cleared out the rest of the enemies, I killed some hunters, we proceeded deeper into the dark zone and killed some more enemies. I got sneak attacked by a little bastard, and within 12 minutes we completed the mission. Anyways, Mission 4 is just pure and utter pain. Our objective this time is to take out some AA guns. There isn't a single shotgun in the whole level, so I had to get a little creative. By the way, after 2 hours of trying this on hard mode and normal mode, I only had success on easy, so that's unfortunately the difficulty I played on in this level. The first AA gun is the worst. My teammates in the Warthog don't shoot the AA gun, so my only hope was to use myself as bait while the Covenant destroys their own turret. I had to park the Warthog in this position, but first I had to send my teammates to the pits of hell so they wouldn't interfere with my work. Then I would do my best to dodge the sadistic fuck who had hopped on the turret while he tried to turn me into a puddle. Luckily, after a few minutes, he had failed. The turret exploded, and then we made our way to the next turret. Unfortunately, we had to ditch the Warthog, but it's not needed for the second turret. For the next AA gun, I just jumped back and forth while the Hunters and Wraith shot at and missed me, while the AA gun took the hits. In no time at all, it too had exploded. Our next objective was to shut down a shield spire. I didn't shoot anyone when I was riding in the Falcon. We crash, and now I could take out the spire. Once again, I had to rely on aid from my teammates, and since George dies in the next mission, I wanted some bro time with him, so I made the fat fuck sit in the trunk. I forced him to go up the tower with me. I had to give him a lot of nudges since he was frozen by his fear of heights. He got over his fear, I pressed the button, and we beat the 4th mission. Mission 5 is so dreadfully awful and evil that I wouldn't be surprised if this mission was just Stalin in disguise. And why, you ask? Because this is the first semi-fail of the challenge. And what is a semi-fail, you also ask? Well, allow me to explain. This is the mission with the saber section. But it's more than that, because I was able to get past every wave of enemies without killing a single one since the Covenant loved to commit suicide. My teammates and the sabers were killing them, and the turrets on the station killed everything for me. However, the evil thing about this level is the fact that the fail comes after everyone is dead, because in order to board the Covenant Corvette, I had to destroy its engines to slow it down. See, the reason I call this a semi-fail is because I'm not killing an enemy. I have to destroy an inanimate object. So I still do consider it a fail, but I wouldn't be opposed to people thinking of it as not a fail, and that's why I'm meeting somewhere in the middle. The rest of this insufferable mission is pretty easy. Before I got into the saber, I grabbed the shotgun since there's none on the ship. I killed the enemies in the hangar with the boys so George could park the Pelican in here. Then I ran to the bridge ASAP and targeted the hardest enemy in the room first, because his shield and weapon are overpowered as fuck. After that, everyone else was pretty easy to kill, so within a minute I was already back in the hangar. We had to defend the bomb from the xenophobes because they wanted to disarm the bomb for some reason. It was probably to save George, but that's just rude because they know he wants a hero's death. So we killed the remaining Covenant, and luckily I had just enough shotgun shells to kill the last elite. George betrays me and throws me out of the ship, and then he kills himself because he felt bad about it. And with that, the mission ends. In Mission 6, I survive the fall and walk it off like a man. I make it to the city, and now my objective is to reunite with UNSC forces. To start off, I had to avoid some grunts who turned their backs on the Covenant to serve a new religion. After that, it was time to fight the big strong monkeys, who, by the way, are easier than elites in every way. Less shots to kill, bigger targets, and they're slower. I found a shotgun, and then my 8-gauge pellets were eager to check out their new homes. So I mainly focused on killing the brutes while my marines killed the methane mongoloids and humanoid pigeons. The armored brutes only take an extra shot to kill, and when the whole fight was done, I only had a single shell left. I found more ammo at the ODST part, and then I ran into the hardest part of the level. I died more times here than I should have, but sometimes life is just a series of unfortunate events. After my 5th death or so, I finally killed the fuel rod bitch and everyone else without dying. It was mainly hard because of my underestimation of the grunts and jackals' combat abilities, but when I realized that fact, I revised my strategy and finally hopped in the Falcon. The rest of the level is pretty easy and short from here. I rode in the Falcon until we reached the other marines. I drove around activating all the anti-air batteries, and when I activated the 3rd and final battery, the mission ended, and so did the lives of the Covenant who were aboard that ship. The 7th mission is shorter than a gnome's dick, and barely worth talking about. Throughout the mission, you have to fly around in a Falcon while disabling 3 different jammers, and you also have to destroy some pathetically weak turrets. I found a shotgun at the first jammer, and the other two were so poorly guarded that using the shotgun in this level wasn't even close to being necessary to get the job done. When we had to destroy the turrets, my teammates used the machine guns to destroy them. So yeah, that's mission 7 in a nutshell. Kat ends up staining her helmet with her brains, but it's kinda hard to shed a tear for a woman who chooses to style her hair in that fashion. So the little boy dies, and the mission ends. Mission 8 is the second and last mission that I had to change the difficulty to easy mode in order to beat, because it seems almost impossible on hard and normal. There's no shotguns until the later half of the mission, and I needed my Marines to live long enough to board the tank and help me with the 2 upcoming AA guns. I started off by running up to the grunts in the turrets to make them jump out, and then I ran to the tank, hopped in it, I gave my Marines the fuel rod guns, and now it was a goddamn party. I floored it past everyone, and boom, here we were, face to face with the AA guns. Fortunately, my men target and destroy the turrets, unlike my allies did in mission 4. So we destroyed the first turret, and then we destroyed the second, and now we were in the hardest part of the mission, Buttfuck Valley. I pulled on my diaper, threw on my Nikes, and ran to every turret in the valley to kindly ask each grunt if they could leave, so it would be easier to kill them in a couple minutes. They agreed, and then my buddies and I proceeded to kill them along with the assholes and the revenants. I couldn't reach the last turret, and getting closer would be risky, so I waited for the falcons above to rain down death upon them, and then when he died, we were finally done with Buttfuck Valley. I reunite with Noble Team, find a shotgun, and after we murder our way through the facility, it's time to defend Halsey's lab from the Covenant. This part is fun, but it's pretty self-explanatory. After spending a few minutes here using my shotgun's 8-gauge shells to separate the Covenant souls from their bodies, we make it into Halsey's facility. I become the chosen one, we split up from Dr. Halsey, but June goes with her because we needed someone to be there with her to blow her brains out the same way Kat got her brains blown out, just in case she got captured by the Covenant. And that concludes Mission 8. Mission 9 is the last mission of Halo Reach. There is Lone Wolf, but there's no point in playing that level since the objective is to fight until I die. We start off with Carter getting shot a fuckton by a Banshee, so Emile and I bail out because he looks like a creepy ass zombie. Right off the bat, I don't have a shotgun, but when I went to see the grumpy old troll who lives under the bridge, I snagged his shotgun and pieced out with Emile. We enjoyed a peaceful mongoose ride. I did some parkour to get around the enemies, and then Carter nobly sacrifices himself so the both of us can safely die in a few minutes. I easily ran past all the drones, I killed some elites here and there, and then we reached the hunters. As usual, the hunters became the hunted, since for some reason hunters are always super weak in every Bungie Halo game. We moved through the facility and reached the final fight. There was more than enough shotgun ammo here to use, especially since most of the brutes died in one shot. Slowly but surely, with each kill, I was reaching Saitama's level of power. Killing the chieftains was quite easy. The jackals were definitely more annoying to deal with than the brutes ever were, but eventually everyone got a free sample of buckshot. Captain Keyes becomes the chosen one now. Emile is badass and decides to stay behind, but then some zealot cunts decide it would be an epic prank to kill him. But Emile has the martyrdom perk and takes the elite with him. Captain Keyes pieces out. I fail at being a hero. I fail at being a hero again. I kill all the zealots, and then I reach the Mac gun. If you enter and exit, you don't have to kill anything, but to finish the game, you have to shoot the big ship in the vagina, or else you die. So I destroyed the giant Covenant ship. I semi-fail for the second time, and with that, the game ends. Again, there's Lone Wolf, but no point in discussing it. So was I able to beat Halo Reach with only a shotgun? I was so frickin' close, but nope. I encountered 2 semi-fails in the challenge, destroying the Corvette's engines and destroying the Corvette at the end. Well, thanks for watching, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.